with free. No one's looking over your shoulder. If you put the diaper on backwards and forget to heat the bottle up, you go with it. Yeah. You want to ditch those carrot sticks and feed your kid McNuggets? You go for it.
Oh, that brought back such a fun movie. When it comes to being a parent, it is certainly important to have a support system. And we often hear about resources for moms, from helping with the kids to supporting their mental health. But what about dads? Oftentimes, some dads can feel a little left out when it comes to parenting resources, and that can impact their mental health. So this morning, we're excited to have this conversation to talk about the well-being of dads with Allison Steyer. She is a licensed psychologist with the Southwest Human Development, great resources for birth to 5. But good morning, Allison. Great to have you here.
Oh, thank you.
Talk a little bit about dad's mental health and why it's important that we're having conversations like this, especially on Father's Day.
Well, I think it's right that I think mental health in general is sort of neglected as a topic for everyone, but dads especially are not included often in conversations and in resources that might be available. So their dads have an impact on every area of their children's development. I'll just give you one example, which is that they tend to do a little more rough and tumble play, which teaches kids a lot about managing their arousal. And, you know, you get very excited, but then you have to calm down a little bit. They push kids maybe beyond kind of their, you know, in a good way, push them, you know, to try things that are new. These are very important lessons, but you have to be pretty psychologically available and emotionally steady to be able to involve yourself that way with your kids.
We know being a dad, I mean, they can suffer from postpartum depression and anxiety too, and the lack of sleep, I'm sure, gets to them. What are some of the challenges you see dads, especially new dads, experiencing, and what are some of the signs that maybe they're real burnt out?
Well, I think for dads, it's there's a big adjustment to a new identity as a father that doesn't get talked about as much as mothers haven't usually have a chance to talk about their transition into parenthood. I think there's a lot of pressure still to balance work and family, to think of yourself as a provider now for another person, and but also to figure out how you were fathered and what you want to bring from your own, how you were parented into how you parent and what maybe you don't want to. So I think financial stress, like you said, sleep deprivation, big adjustment, and figuring out how to connect with a baby where you may not have had much experience with young children.
I think sometimes it's also hard for dads to communicate, right? Women, sometimes it's easy. We get, blah, 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 and sometimes it's hard for dads to open up. Why would you encourage them to open up, and what are some ways they can do that?
Well, I think that in my clinical experience, I have never met anyone who suffered silently or you know, just felt like they had to do it alone, and that keeping that to themselves made them a better person or a better partner or a better parent. So I think that it's really important for people, you know, for men who are not necessarily encouraged in our society to have open communication.
And what are you all doing at Southwest Human Development? I love this program that you have started, Let's Talk Dads, to encourage dads to talk. What are some of the benefits of that program, and how can people get involved?
Well, that is a program that you can do virtually. So you're in a group with other dads talking about being fathers, sharing strategies and struggles with a facilitator, learning skills that are really, you know, very applicable, very easily applied. And I think sharing with other men what the experience of being a dad is.
Final message to dads out there as they're watching, and maybe they are struggling a little bit and just have kept everything in.
Final message, you've been sold a bill of goods. Don't keep it to yourself. Don't feel like you have to tough it out. Parenting is really hard, and no one should have to do something really hard alone.
And you had a great dad. We want to show a quick picture of your dad. This is, he went by Bill, right?
Yes.
But William, and he was a well-known doctor in New York.
It's true. Yeah.
Anything you want to say?
Well, my dad, in addition to teaching me how to eat ice cream by impaling myself on it, apparently, taught me that the quality of mercy is not strained. He was very compassionate as a physician and as a father.
Yeah, an oncology doctor in New York. We appreciate your time, and thanks so much for having a good conversation about dads, and happy Father's Day to all the dads watching this morning. We'll be right back.